Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're covering the PRYDWEN updated tier list today. There's some things we're gonna have to say about this. All right, there's some things that we're gonna have to say. Check it out, dude. We moved Luke up. Apparently Luke is going up, dude. Luke is up and up and up, and apparently he's one of the best characters in the entire game now. We're gonna find out why they say that, even though I'll probably disagree. All right, let's check it out. Let's see the changes to the tier list here. 2 tier list changes. Dimensional Twilight based on a character's maximum potential using their best decks. Remember that. Maximum potential here. Okay? Chaos Manifestation is based on consistency, floor flexibility. Honestly, I'll cover this right now. The easiest thing for you to do is support the channel by checking out the link in the description below. You're going to get a free legendary champion as well as up to $200 worth of free goodies. And don't forget up to 3 awesome epics as you level up inside of Raid. And be sure to use the code Desert Queen to get access to your new free legendary champion in the form of Tahana Rock. As always, this helps the channel out so much, guys, so be sure to check that description down in the link below and join me in Raid today. Chaos Manifestation tier lists, for the most part, I think are kind of pointless a lot of the times. You'll be able to run a Chaos Manifestation team together, right? For instance, like, you know, oh, I need to put like a Raid deck or a Nia deck together, right? Like, yeah, do I agree for cutting down here? Like, as far as like going and getting a consistent Chaos Manifestation clear, that Nia is like probably one of the worst characters in Chaos Manifestation, 1000%. Does that mean that like you'll never be able to get a Nia deck together because you can't like put her on a team and she'll be awful and you won't be able to beat Chaos Manifestation? No, it means you'll probably do something dumb like Nia as like a support character, try to get some card draw stuff. You'll probably take Mika in there because you can, because you don't need a user for another team. There's only one team in Chaos Manifestation. And then what other DPS or support DPS you want to put in that team. Ultimately, I think Chaos Manifestation tier lists in general are pretty useless, outside of you being like a brand new player and you're like, I don't know how to play the game. Like, I don't know what characters do, sort of thing. Like, oh, support. What does that even mean? You know, sort of thing. Avoid this character in your Chaos Manifestation run. Outside of like your first week or so in the game, you're going to understand that you'll be able to mix and match different characters together and make a good Chaos Manifestation team. And ultimately, the ranking of the characters does not really matter when it comes to Chaos Manifestation, because you have to play them in Chaos Manifestation to make a save data deck for them anyway. So it's kind of pointless to rate all these characters like this in Chaos Manifestation mode. That being said, let's take a look at it real quick here, because they're talking about consistency, floor, and flexibility of the character. Mei Lin being tier 0 in Chaos Manifestation mode is kind of wild to me, because you tell me that she's the most flexible, usable character when you don't get the move epiphany, or you don't get the extra passion attack, boom, 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 big damage epiphany, and you don't have her paired with someone who like makes her really good and combos out with her, like Veronica or something. Like Mei Lin to be up on her own in tier 0 as a DPS in Chaos Manifestation mode is kind of like wild to me. So I'm not sure there. I think Hugo should, if you're gonna put her in tier 0, like Hugo should probably go up there as well. I mean, you might even be able to like put Haru up there too. Like, oh no, she's AP hungry. All these AP hungry characters. Listen, everyone's ham-fisting Mika into their party inside Chaos Manifestation for most parties anyway. It doesn't really matter. Ultimately, we're not going to talk too much about this. I mean, I think Selena could go up here +1 as well. I think Cassius is actually tier 0 in Chaos Manifestation mode. A lot of players don't really talk about Cassius that much when it comes to Chaos Manifestation. They're like, oh, he's weird and wonky and doesn't work super well. And that's not true at all. His ultimate to give like -3 to -5 morale stacks can take a boss one-shotting you full HP. You had a bad hand to like hitting you for like 2 damage sometimes. And that's just available at 4 EP. He's got the card draw, he's got the card search. You can do a little bit of damage if you get the right epiphanies as well. You don't need him to do that. He just kind of is there, and he makes my runs way more consistent. I don't find much fault with any of the other placements for these characters, though. I just kind of think it's weird that Mei Lin's up here by herself and Hugo's not up there, and Haru's not up there, and Cassius should be up 1. Let's take a look at Dimensional Twilight, though. All right, we got the change log. Let's check this out. All right, season 1 is well underway. A lot has changed with the end game meta, has it? All right, Dimensional Twilight, tier 1 to 0.5. Yeah, so we've rated Rhea as tier 0 up there with a couple of the other characters. I think that we'll find out that they still have like an absolute hard-on for some reason for just Mika being in 0, even though like she does one thing really well, which is like she can make extra AP. Okay, great, fantastic. And heal, but like we're in Dimensional Twilight. We don't heal in Dimensional Twilight. We win. We win in Dimensional Twilight. We don't heal. So we do other things as a supportive role in Dimensional Twilight that are important other than just generating a couple pieces of AP. So Ray's getting a lot of ground as players move from survival to optimizing damage. Well, we literally just talked about that. Ray's buff is in the current state of the game some of the most potent, which we've talked about extensively. If you haven't hit the channel up, maybe now is the time to hit the subscribe button because we've been light years ahead of this. If the support's currently available, Ray is one of the most universal outside of Mika. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, PRYDWEN. Luke from 1 to 0.5 and moved to main DPS. He was seeing the most play as an assistant to Hugo. In what world was that happening? No, anyone using Luke was using him as a main DPS because you needed to just give him the AP, give him the card draw, let him do damage, just like any other DPS in the game. But now with the more optimized Dance of the Demon builds being used, he's found himself positioned. Wow, welcome to the show, PRYDWEN. Once again, as one of the top single target DPS characters in the game when set up correctly, especially with a well-built 000 Cassius. So here's the thing, I'm going to talk about this, right? Luke's cool. Luke is not tier 0. Like you can move him up or whatever you want. You can move all these people up or whatever. That's fine. That's great. Also, Cassius not being in tier 0 is dumb. My Cassius does like 40,000 damage a turn if the enemies don't die. The thing with 000 Cassius is that most of the time when your Cassius starts getting really well built, you don't even get to combo off all the way before the enemies die. So it's cool that like we talked about when we make our tier list, which this one is apparently about the tier list, maximum potential using their best decks, equipment, and teams. My brother in Christ, you have a support doing 30 to 40,000 damage around on his own for 0 AP. In addition to drawing cards, searching, reducing damage, redistributing your hand, whatever it is you want. You got this man paired up with Luke now. You are some kind of up, all right? Okay, let's be real. DPS, yeah. Mei Lin. Yes, Mei Lin with Veronica, absolute busted. Hugo goes down. Luke can eat it and go down. AoE Yuki, you're a joke, dude. The single target build is what's good with her, where you go trickery strike, big damage, and you can make a build where she literally is a single target damage dealer that costs 0 AP, and you can use her with Hugo like you use Tressa with Hugo. It's not this AoE garbage. Rin goes up because she has some of the highest damage dealing potential in the game with a proper build. Hugo hard caps harder or soft caps his damage more than other characters do that are main DPS. Mei Lin has a higher threshold. Kairon at E3 does too. Haru at E2, right? Renoa has more payoffs. Rin has way more payoffs. So Rin should go up here. Hugo should go down. And then I would put Haru probably up into, I still like Haru. I think Haru is one of the most broken characters that you can utilize because she just hits a couple of times really hard, uses vulnerability stacks super well. Just you can do some really nice broken things with her. Support DPS, Tressa, Veronica. If we're gonna leave them as a support DPS thing, then yeah, we can leave them both up there. Beryl in 0.5, I guess. If you're part of the retain thing with the draw, sure, you can make her a nice little draw engine. Selena, a break-in extra attack damage. I would put her up in 0.5 as well. She's pretty AP efficient as well because if you're breaking, you're generating AP back. So she can shield, mark things, break, generating AP, and being at least neutral even without a lot of the epiphanies that can reduce, like divine blessings that reduce the AP cost of things. If you get some Selena stuff that has the ability to do a bunch of tenacity damage for 0 or 1 AP, she starts generating stuff for you. She works well with other card drawers too because she's got a lot of cards that actually will trigger another card draw effect when you draw them. So I think she's actually like sleeper strong and has been for a long time. And at least move her up there. Mika being the sole tier 0 is just wild to me. Mika, I get it, dude. She's the most easy. She generates AP. She heals a little bit. But this is Dimensional Twilight. This is where you said end game. We just moved Ray up because we're focusing on doing damage now. Cassius, Nia, and Ray all need to be, and I've said this since day one, tier 0 with Mika. They're all amazing at doing slightly different things. Cassius says the draw and the assertion does an absolute crap ton of damage. We have buffing in card draw, right, with Ray. She's the best at that. Nia is the absolute best at doing nothing but specifically drawing cards. She also, once you can do it, has the rhythm boost damage buff as well, especially if you have like a fully E6. When you start with a damage boost, you can shuffle and get more damage boosts, and it kind of just never goes away in her decks. She is the best at doing that in the game. The best. I want to be super efficient. I'm going to draw my entire deck every turn and give out massive damage bonuses. Nia is the one there. Mika is there to just use Source of Water. She's just a Source of Water bot. Everyone knows this. What's your Mika deck? Make it as small as possible. Get a Source of Water with a draw blessing on it with a Divine Epiphany. Copy it 2 or 3 times. Congratulations, you've done it, because she's the only character in the game that can just poop out a bunch of AP. All right, but there's more to that. AP alone isn't inherently the best thing. You can have 5,000 AP in a turn, but if you don't have any of the card draw characters, you don't get to do anything. So all of these 3 characters need to come up. Most end game teams that are absolute gacha, they talk about that are broken for 4 stars, right? We have Mika, Tressa, Cassius, right? Cassius isn't like the worst part of that. He's like the best part of that team. All of these characters need to go up into tier 0. That's absolutely wild. Get it together. Do they talk about any of the other people in the changelog here? No, just these 2. Oh, we moved Chaos Manifestation, Nia down. No one cares, man. Move Luke, main DPS. No one cares. Even though fix the Hugo's Hunt commence Epiphanies, we've made a decision to keep them T5. Dude, no one cares about any of that. We talked about that already. We don't need to talk about Chaos Manifestation rankings anymore. Orlia being down in tier 1, I agree. And honestly, like, Beryl does the damage and stuff. She's probably like the best part of the retained team, I suppose. I'm still really underwhelmed by that team. And just for comparison's sakes, I feel like they have her in 0.5 because they're comparing her to like the other support DPS characters in this support DPS category. I'm not even sure if I like this as a category because of that. Because if you're telling me Beryl is on the same tier as Cassius, Nia, and Ray, I'm gonna have to tell you to sober up, my friend. Last call happened 4 hours ago. You need to go home, tuck your kids and wife into bed, and sleep it off. All right, that is not true. There is no way these characters are on the same tier at all in any way, shape, or form. These 3 characters are just way too busted. The 4 most broken characters in the game are Mika, Cassius, Nia, and Ray, and we have them up in their own busted tier in our tier list. So, I mean, it looks like they're working on it a little bit. They're kind of waking up to Ray finally. I don't know what this Luke thing is. I feel like this is just like, this is like, I don't want to make anyone mad. Like, the only DPS character, which is, I'm just going to go on a little tangent here. Hear me out. The only DPS character that they have listed as a DPS that isn't tier 0.5 or tier 0 is literally Amir. And everyone knows, we've all played gacha games before. Gacha game players, when they're looking at tier lists and they're like, my favorite character, what kind of character are they always talking about first? That everyone latches on to, I'm gonna main X, and it's always a main DPS character. Hey man, if I list all of the DPS characters on my tier list as 0 or 0.5, I don't offend anybody, everyone's good. Which is fair. It's true. Everyone is good. Lead with that like I lead with that on my most busted tier list, and then separate the brackets based out on just how easy they are to put together. How much damage do you expect to do with them each turn? And the most broken ones, like Maylin popping out 80k with a top tier build, 70k sometimes, right? Where we're just doing the wombo combo with Veronica, or even like less than that. If you're not doing the Veronica thing, get down to like 30, 40k. My garbage one can do 25, 30k already, is not on the same tier as someone like Hugo is, right? So I'm not sure what we're smoking here when it comes to not offending anyone who's a DPS main out there. You guys let me know what you think about this down below. I think the biggest offender is the support DPS category, just like existing, I suppose. And then as far as the support category, these 4 characters are absolutely busted and they all belong in tier 0. Let me know what you think about that down below, where you can also check out my link in the description and support me because, you know, click that raid link.